Good morning and good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are. Thanks for joining us today for our preview of our new control panel for iHomefinder IDX accounts. My name is Hank Hansen on the marketing team here. I'm here with Flynn Waters from our product team, and she's going to be providing overview of what's in store for the new control panel. So we're really happy to have her with us. This is a project they've been working really hard on, and I think you're really going to love it. Before we get started, I want to go over the basics of using GoToWebinar. So you'll see there's a little orange tab there. You can use that to open and hide the control panel. You can join audio through the telephone option or mic and speakers. Everybody is muted by default, and you can submit questions along the way in the questions panel, and we will have a Q&A session after the overview, and we'll get to your questions there. And we are, finally, we are recording the webinar. So it will be available in a video. We can send that out to everybody who has registered. Okay, so for our agenda today, we're going to cover, just recap the basics of the IDX Control Panel for those of you who may be new to your iHomefinder account, just to remind you what it's used for, how to get there. Then we'll go over the improvements that are coming with a demo and follow up with a Q&A. So your IDX Control Panel is really the command center for your iHomefinder account. It's where you do all kinds of things like modifying the search settings and customizations, managing leads, and lots of other settings, all of your communications, who is getting alerts for new lead registrations, all the back-end office settings. And you'll find step-by-step guides for all aspects of your account. If you haven't been there already, just go to Resources, select the Support Center, and then choose the Quick Start Setup Guide for your type of account. And those step-by-step guides walk you through different features of your control panel and where to access them. All right, so accessing your IDX Control Panel can be done in a couple different ways. If you're on WordPress, which would mean our Optima Express plugin for WordPress websites, you can access your IDX Control Panel from your WordPress dashboard. Just go to Optima Express and select IDX Control Panel. If you're not on WordPress, or if you're away from your WordPress dashboard, you can use 3 different options. We have a link at the top there, iHomefinder.com/account/login. If you just bookmark that, that'll get you into your control panel. You can also go to our support page at resources/support at iHomefinder.com and click on the client login button. And finally, there's another option in the website footer at iHomefinder.com. You can select client login located under resources. All right. So the final step here as far as accessing your control panel, username and password. So you won't require, it's not required if you're on WordPress, accessing from your WordPress dashboard, but if you go through the links that we just reviewed, you'll need your username and password. There is a forget password option. Usually your username is the email you used when you signed up for your account. If you have any trouble, please reach out to our support department at support@iHomefinder.com, and they can help you out. Okay, so I'll hand it over to Flynn here, and we'll cover the control panel improvements overview, and before we get into the actual demo.
Great, thank you, Hank. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning/afternoon, depending on where you are. So I wanted to talk briefly before we jump into the demo about some of the reasons why we have taken this project on and the results that you're all going to enjoy the benefits from. So primarily, a small thing, not for the demo, but the new control panel will be secure. It will use HTTPS. I know this is something that we have had a good number of client requests about, so We're happy to provide that in this new version of the control panel, as well as a new look and feel, and you'll see that in the demo, but we are giving a refreshed look is what I'll say. It looks a little more modern, and it's going to be more in line with some of the great UI that you're seeing on the front end of your site. We want to make sure that that the consumers and your leads aren't the only ones that are getting the benefit of a good experience. We're really focused this year on what we can do for agents and brokers in terms of your day-to-day experience and giving you better tools to do your business and get build your business and get more leads. So in part of that, a huge part of that was the redesign of the lead detail section. So as you'll see in the demo, a lot of the administration sections of the control panel have remained the same. The navigation is different, but the bulk of the major changes that you'll see in this first release of the new control panel will be around the lead details. We're basically trying to give you more insight into lead activity and then let you take more action to stay on top of your leads and use the tools that you have in your iHomefinder account to maximum capability. So part of that is, making it easier for you to get in there, giving you better immediate views of the stuff you need to see is all part of that. And then on top of that, just a small feature that I think will go a long way for a lot of people. There's a new universal control panel search that I'll show you briefly, and it's going to help you get where you need to go in the control panel a lot faster. There's a lot in there, just day to day. I'm sure you could spend time if you had it clicking around in the control panel for hours. But I know that you don't have that kind of time. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. So we have made a new search interface that's going to make it easier for you to get where you need to go in the control panel. And if it's a place that you don't log into all that often, you won't have to kind of hunt around and click and look for what you're looking for. So with that said.
All right, we'll make you presenter here. One minute, folks, while we get this going. All right, looks like we're got the demo here.
Great. So I want to talk briefly about what's going to stay the same before we get into the new and exciting pieces. Your login pages will redirect to the new version of the login page. It will look a bit different, but you won't have to change anything in your day-to-day workflow. You won't have to change your password. That, of course, will stay the same, and you'll be able to log in just as you always have. If you're used to logging in through WordPress, that connection will still work directly. But once you do log in, you will see a screen that looks like this. And again, this section here is the existing lead activity feed, and this up here should look pretty familiar. You'll all see your normal, these are right now like rectangular buttons in our existing control panel, and we just modernized it a bit and given you some, all of those options up here. One change that you will notice is that there is a link for the website. Those of you on OmniPress, on a hosted WordPress site, are used to having this. It opens your iHomefinder website. But for the rest of you, this will just open your own domain. So wherever you have currently installed or framed our product in, this is on record in our system, and it's just going to let you pop out into there. So if you make any changes and you want to take a quick look at them to see what you did, make sure it's all looking good on the site. It's just a quick way to get there. We know that you probably know your own domain name, but I hope that it makes your day-to-day workflow a little easier. Those of you working with designers too, this might help them on their way. So kind of getting into the bulk of it. I mean, as I said before, markets are still going to stay the same. It's just a new navigation button. The setup section is relatively unchanged. You'll have the same items on the left nav, same items on the top nav. However, a little bit easier to get to them, a little more of a modern look and feel here. So coming back to the lead section, which again is where we really have made most of the improvements. Those of you that have our mobile app, Optima Leads, this might look a little familiar. It's a direction that we're heading. Those of you who don't have the mobile app, you should. So all agent clients, you can download it. It's in the Google Play and the App Store for iOS. And it's a great way to stay in touch with your leads and get that lead information wherever you might be. But sometimes you are actually sitting at your desk and you want to take care of this stuff. And so that's when you're in the control panel. You can log in right here and you get a refreshed look at your leads, their status, the date they were created, the source if you're pulling them in from an external one. Again, we're only going to show you active leads when you first log in. If you have inactive leads or deleted leads that you want to see on this view, you can certainly filter it so that you can. But clicking in to our friend Allison Brown here, maybe she left me a voicemail while I was doing another showing, and Allison wanted me to give her a call back. And it's been a while since I talked to her, so I'm just going to check on her and see what she's been up to before I get in touch, right? And be prepared for that call. So now when I log in and I go to her, when I go to her record now, you'll notice that this is a considerable change from what we have currently in the control panel. What we really wanted to do is put this information, her contact information, front and center, all of the basics that you're going to need to know if you want to pick up the phone and give her a call. There she is. But at the same time, you might want to know a little bit more about her. You can see your previous notes, edit those as you need to. But we can see that she saved the search, like she is narrowed in on a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in San Jose. And there was a particular condo that she did favorite. She saved that listing. And then you can see that way back, she got in touch with you first a long time ago. Again, this is a demo account. So it's really great for you to have that background on that individual lead here, and it gives you that insight that you need when you're making contact. Again, for people that have a ton of activity on here, if you only want to see certain types of activity, you have a filter on the individual lead records that's going to let you see. If you only want to know the listings that they viewed or something like that, you'll be able to drill down and just see what you're looking for. So the next option here is you can view her current subscriptions. And this is a great way for you to see the level of contact that you are having with this lead, because you're sending a lot of automated emails. It's really nice to be able to reference that when you're talking to somebody and say, hey, I see you have a saved search. And again, if this were a live account, not a demo one, you could be able to see the last emails that were sent to her, if she had clicked through, what listings she had clicked through, and some information about the listing price of those properties that she viewed. So that's going to give you more information, more insight into this lead. And then for those of you who have Market Boost or marketing automation on your account, and if you don't have those things and you're interested in them, there's information on our website, and our sales team would be happy to work with you on that. There are really quick ways for you to see both, where this lead is in an existing marketing automation campaign. These are our drip emails that have smart content. You'd be able to click in here. Again, not a live account, I apologize, but and see which emails she's received thus far, if she opened it, if she clicked through. And that's going to, again, let you see the level of engagement that this lead has. And say I pick up the phone and I give Allison a call, and after we talk, I decide, I tell her on the phone that I'm going to add her to some Market Boost reports, because it looks like she's looking for a San Jose condo under $1 million. And I know she has a saved search here, so she doesn't need to get the listing alert, but I can just go like this and add her to the market report and the open house alert for that market that I've created in my control panel. So again, just a really quick, simple way to administrate an individual lead right while you're on the phone, right? Maybe I was talking to her and I don't want her to get these drip emails anymore because they're automated. I've had that conversation and I want to get her off of that campaign, maybe put her on something else because I have all of these other campaigns that she's getting. I can just click here to deactivate right away, and she won't get those drip emails anymore. Continuing on, another place where we really wanted to give insight was into the property organizer. Now, that is where a lead or a client of yours logs in when they want to save a search, when they want to save a property, any of that activity that's tied to their account, you'll be able to see here. And in our existing control panel, sometimes you have to log in to your actual website organizer, and we don't want you to have to do that. We want to make it really easy for you to see what's going on. And so right here you can see there's that saved search again. Can turn email alerts on or off if you need to for somebody, and also get a look at the listings that they've favorited. And this will link right out to your website where you can take a look at the actual property details if you need to. But another thing, when you're on the phone with somebody or you're meeting with them, you want to add them to those email alerts, which are, a huge way to stay in touch, to get people coming back to your website, and also to, let them see what's coming on the market. Some places it's competitive enough that you want them to be able to jump on something if the right property comes up. You can come and add a new saved search. Sorry, I'm on a test server, a little bit of a lag on the load, and a very strange search that I have performed. I apologize. So you can open up the saved search and, I had the zoom level on the wrong place. Sorry about that, in the settings. So I can just come in here and I can create a saved search. Now, those of you who are familiar with our Eureka search product will know that this isn't the standard search that you're going to see if you're on one of our Pro or our standard packages or Power. This is the top line search that we have. We launched it about a year and a half ago. Every client is going to see this interface, like you as our client, when they're creating saved searches for an individual lead. We just really wanted to let you have the best search experience possible, so you'll be able to draw a polygon if that is part of your account, and do additional search criteria. But again, you're going to see all of this here. You just come, you select your search criteria, and you click save, and that will add saved search to the lead's account. Additionally, you can also favorite listings for them. So say there are a couple of listings that you would like them to take a look at. Instead of sending them an email about it or whatever, you can just come in, click the heart button on a couple of them, and they'll show up right in their property organizer when they log in. So just making it easier for you to both get informed about what leads are doing on your website and keep on top of that activity, but also let you take more control of how you're communicating with those leads and managing what's going out to them and servicing them a little bit more efficiently right from your iHomefinder control panel. So the one other feature I was going to give you a brief introduction to here is the new site-wide control panel search. And this is just going to give you a really easy way to get to a lead. So if I'm looking, there's Allison again. You can search for all of your leads from this screen. You can also, if you wanted to go make an edit to an existing market or go see how many subscribers you have to it, you can just click on that market. It's going to open it up, and as well as your campaigns that you have on your account. If you're using marketing automation, so if I want to go make some edits to my buyer campaign, whatever it is, wherever you're trying to get in our system, instead of kind of hunting around for it, this gives you a really nice shortcut. Just type in where you're headed, and we'll bring you right there. So as far as timing goes, we are in beta on this currently. That means that we have a closed group of clients who are taking it for a test drive, letting us know what we need to fix, and we're going to be opening that up a bit wider. If you are interested in participating in the beta and you're not already on the list, email us at beta@iHomefinder.com. That's BETA @iHomefinder.com, and we will add you to early access when we can. But we are also hoping to begin rolling this out to some clients next week. We're very close to being ready. So this will get rolled out to agent clients before brokerage clients, and brokerage clients, your agents will actually see a newly skinned agent control panel, so that agent login that they use will also be refreshed to reflect the new navigation and kind of look and feel here. So we'll be rolling this out starting next week, probably through the beginning of October. We will definitely keep you posted if anything changes in regard to that, but it's looking really good. We're excited about it. We're really excited to get your feedback. So definitely let us know if you have any comments on it once you're in there, ideas for improvement. But of course, this is just the first step for us. We do want to do a lot more in this control panel as months go on. So this is our first set of improvements coming out to you, and we are going to be spending some time making this better as time goes by. And in addition to that, some of those lead record items that you saw, in terms of being able to add someone to a market or subscription or remove them from one on the lead record. We are going to be updating Optima Leads. That's our mobile app available in Play Store and in the App Store. That's going to be updated in the coming weeks also to add that subscriptions tab, so you'll be able to add market and campaign subscriptions or remove them right from your Android or iOS device.
That's really cool. Wow. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to cover there?
I think we've got it all, and then some, probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, Flynn. Really a lot of great, exciting changes coming. I know it's going to help people. Hopefully everybody can see how it's going to really help them work more efficiently in the control panel and stay focused on their business. So really cool stuff. We're going to move on to the Q&A session here. You'll notice we did the demo, and here's the Q&A. There's a questions panel you can enter questions into if you have any that you have not already entered. And if you just give us a moment, we're going to take a brief pause here and open up the questions panel here on our end and prepare to answer your questions. We'll be right back. All right, great. Thanks for holding, everyone. Flynn, you can
all right.
Go ahead.
So there was one question about someone being logged into the control panel and not seeing what I was demoing, and that is because it's still a work in progress. We will be rolling it out to clients, as I just said, next week and beyond that.
Okay, great. All right, I think we have another question here. You ready to go, Flynn?
So can we keep the control panel up all day instead of being logged out all the time? That is a great question, and a small behavior that actually can, affect your day-to-day life. I am pleased to report that the new control panel, when you're logged in, you'll stay logged in until you log out. Makes things a lot easier and lets you kind of work more efficiently. So I'm happy to be able to say yes for that one.
All right, yeah, that's great. All right, we're just going through these questions. Thank you, by the way, for entering all these questions. We really appreciate it. Glad to see you all are interested in using this and providing feedback. We'll be right back with another question. Okay, got another one here.
All right. I just lost it. Okay, so Brian was asking if control panel changes are going to be available for brokerages. And yes, they are. They'll be available for all broker accounts, as well as for the agent control panel, so that login that your agents use of their own. Will have an updated look and feel, as well as the lead record will be modified to see what.
Great. Okay, we got some more coming in. We'll be right back.
All right. Are you rolling out changes to the setup portion of the panel? So not at this time. We are just putting the existing setup options inside the new look and feel, but that is something that we are looking at down the road in terms of another area where we can make improvements. And if you have ideas about places what you would like to see improvement, you can just send those over to our support team and they will funnel them over to product. And we can get those feature requests logged so that when we do have that project on the table, we will be able to, hopefully meet your needs and incorporate your request.
Sharon and anyone else had a question about the app. The app is free. Important point. So if you have an agent account, anybody can go download that app for free. And the app is called Optima Leads. Okay, just digging up some more questions that are rolling in here.
There is a question about, are there changes to the reports section? Not at this time, but part of what we're trying to do on a whole is it's great to go and have the time to go look at reports and see who opened what emails, and that's a great tool. But what we're trying to do is bring that same type of reporting information in contextually. So when you are looking at a lead, you can see right in that screen what emails they've received, what they've clicked on, how long it's been since that saved search has produced a result. Maybe give them a call and say, hey, you haven't gotten any alerts in a while, and maybe want to widen that search, or the reverse. So we're just trying to, instead of putting everything in one corner of the control panel where you can go in and really, geek out over reports, which I love to do, also kind of move that into the lead record where you can have that context, and it's going to be a little more relevant to a conversation that you're either having or preparing to have.
Someone asked if there's an overview of all lead activity, a view of that.
Yes, and that is unchanged at this time. We do have some plans to change that in the future, but when you first log in to that lead section, the lead activity feed is there at your home page if you have current lead activity, and that's the first thing you'll see when you click on the leads button in the control panel.
All right, and we have some more coming in. Just give us one moment.
All right, I'm going to just do like a lightning round here. Someone was asking, Stephen was asking why an agent would be enrolled through a broker rather than their own. We have brokerage packages that allow one website, but it has a broker or has agent pages, so you can have all of your agents listed on it, and the agents show up in the drop-down on all of the lead capture forms if you want, so that someone can choose an agent and then the lead will go to that specific agent. And in turn, there is a sub-login for the agents of a broker where they can go in and see the leads that are assigned to them currently, and depending on the broker permissions, do some administration, customize the email alerts that those people get, things like that. Let me see here.
Doug had a question about segmenting markets. It might be more of a feature request, but I could see that definitely being a need. If you have lots and lots of markets, maybe some organizational tools to quickly navigate through those markets, I think is what Doug's looking for.
Someone was looking for how they could delete an active lead. You can just go on the new app or the new version of the web app. There'll be a little garbage can icon to the right. I believe there's a drop down there now that you can currently delete a lead, and it will be removed from your active view.
And just to reiterate, this is being recorded, so it'll be available. Everybody will receive a link to the recording within the next day or so.
All right. There are some additional questions that we are going to forward on to our support team, and they can be in touch to give you the details on kind of more specific questions about different functionality. We'll be happy to reach out and make sure that we get your questions answered.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that covers it. We really appreciate all your questions and you joining us today. Hopefully you're getting really excited about using this new control panel, and we will be seeing you hopefully in our next webinar. Thanks, everybody.